Hi everyone, my name is Natasha Monsinger. I run an organization called Frank, and our reason, of existing is that we really want to make education and training human and relatable. And today I'm going to talk to you about your video pitch and share a few tips with you. So specifically for this video, we're going to talk about delivery, which is how do you come across on screen, and the second bit is around video logistics. What are some things, so tools, platforms you can use to really help you when you're filming and put your video pitch together. So let's get into the world of delivery. The first tip, and I got 6 tips for you. The first one is really around your own level of energy when you're coming across on video. To come across as energetic, enthusiastic, we almost triple our level of energy. You really use our body language, our hand gestures, our smiles, facial expressions. All that really makes a difference because that's what the audience needs to, really get their attention. The second tip is really around making sure your internet, your audio, your video is working and spending a little bit of time, beforehand doing a practice recording to make sure your tech is working. It's surprising how many times, just the simplest of tech stuff can go wrong. So make time for that. Third tip is around your lighting. So if you're indoors, just make sure we can see you, whether you have some sort of extra lighting or lamps to help make sure that everything is highlighted the way you want it to be. If you're outside, the thing to really watch out is for filming. You really want to avoid direct sunlight because that makes everything, gives a shade to everything on screen. Fourth point is around your background, making sure it's neat and tidy as a minimum, right? You can use sort of a virtual background like I'm using for this video. If you're filming, in your bedroom, for instance, without a virtual background, just making sure your bed is tidy, there are no clothes strewn everywhere. And that's because the people watching you on video are really making really quick impressions and judgments about you. And you don't want them to make a really negative impression about you. Tip number 5 is really when you're filming and speaking and being on screen to minimize distractions. Who are the other people that could come in? The pets, the cats, the dogs, and I've definitely seen these. Unless they're part of your script, you want to make sure you can control your environment for the time that you're on screen. The sixth point, the sixth and final one, is around your background noise. Just making sure that we can hear you. Your audio is so important. And if you're outside, you might need to use an external mic. The video side of things or the audio side of things is really where we have seen from our experience, where things get let down. We just can't hear the speakers on screen. So those were delivery tips. Now let's get to language and scripting tips, as in what are you going to say? So the first one is write a script down, whether it's word for word or bullet points. Make sure whoever is speaking has it, practices, rehearses it. If you have multiple speakers, you need to assign who's going to say what. And you also want to manage the transitions between speakers. You might need to spend a bit of time after filming to edit the transitions to make them really smooth. Second point is when you're, sharing your content, don't overload the audience with information. Write your script down and then, edit it out once, twice, 3 times to really get rid of all the unnecessary information. Keep your message really, really simple and clear. Third point is we want to avoid technical jargon, complex language. Our goal is not to confuse our audience. Our goal is to help them understand and see it like we see it. As a real world example, you want to think, Barack Obama, his use of really simple language to get complex information out. Imagine your audience is, just hypothetical. They're all 14 years of age and you want to share a message that all of them can understand. Fourth point is really keep it natural, be you, have fun with it. That authenticity really comes across on screen, so don't hold back. Definitely be as natural as possible. All right, so that was delivery. Now let's get into the world of logistics, as in, how can you go about filming? So I've given you 3 options. First option is you can record on something like Zoom or Loom, which is what I'm doing right now for this presentation. If you're using a PowerPoint, another great tool is called canva.com, which creates really animated, engaging PowerPoints. Also, just another quick tip on PowerPoints, less text, more visuals to keep it engaging. So option number 2 is if you don't want to do the Zoom way, trying to create a video pitch using your phone and then using editing software like iMovie, PowerDirector, PowerTune, Canva to add text, music, images, and other video content. And a lot of these are free, so that's great. So those 2 are really great options. The third one is if you have more time and resources, you can use professional filming equipment, cameras, tripods, iPhones, lighting. You might come out with a more finished video, but definitely understand you will spend more time doing this, more planning, and you'll need more resources for editing, someone that knows how editing works. So you can choose one of those 3 options. I want to finish off by just saying, with the whole video pitch process and this challenge, you are really learning skills that employers and companies want. These are wonderful skills to put on your resume, talk about in your job hunt. They're really the future of work. So really have fun with it, and I look forward to seeing your video pitches.